Going live.
Damn, boy.
Put your seatbelt on. Where are we going?
To shoot a deer.
Goofy. Well, it's the 23rd. We went to church this morning. We're running a little late. Had to go get the dog some batteries for his collar because he was running around. We're gonna go over here and see if we can't get us a doe at deer camp. We're just gonna go split up and try to cover some ground, and maybe one of us can get a doe. We need us some deer meat. So yesterday was opening day of rifle season here in Mississippi, so anyway, we'll see what happens. Maybe it's November 23rd. Doing a late afternoon hunt. I'm trying to get the wife on a doe. It's opening weekend of rifle here in Mississippi. I'm set up on a power line. Forgot half my stuff. I was trying to help the wife get all her stuff together. It's our first time hunting this year. I'm sitting about 300 yards from her. She's sitting right down the power line. I usually see some does come out down there where she's at, so I'm hoping she can get her doe this afternoon. We got her in the stand, and I got settled in. It's 3:30 right now. We've been in the stand for about 25 minutes, so we got in here fairly late. We seen 9 turkey on the way in. So anyway, like I said, I forgot my tripod for my big camera, but it may be a little shaky, but hopefully I can get some footage if she can get a shot at a deer. I'll film it from where I'm at, but we'll see. It'd be nice if we could get a couple does this afternoon and stock the freezer back up. That's the plan. So that field is right here. I'm sitting right on the corner of it. There's a trail right there coming down that field edge. That road bed's right there. It's overgrown pretty good. And then you got the hardwood bottom. There's a big drainage ditch running off that creek. And you got this little transition line here from hardwoods with the creek drainage ditch. And then all this over here is pretty thick stuff that eventually opens back up into more hardwoods. But hopefully we see something this morning. I'm gonna hang out there for a while, and then I'll probably do a little bit of scouting. Like I said, I hadn't been at this property much. I gotta figure out the deer traveling through and using this area. That way I can be more prepared in the future hunting this. Well, I've walked quite a ways. All those scrapes that were on that roadbed haven't been touched. I walked all the way down that roadbed, made a big loop, found some rubs coming out of a cutover. Nothing too crazy, but I looped back around and I'm following some of these transition lines coming back to the creek. And I found a fresh scrape that looked like it was probably worked yesterday or this morning. So I'm gonna keep looking and see if I can't find some type of line with some more sign, and I might throw a camera on it if I feel it's being used enough. But this is real fresh. It's got fresh tracks in it. It's got a broke off licking branch. So let's keep looking and see what we can find. Found another rub. It's not rubbed that high, but there are a couple broken limbs up here. I mean, that's pretty high. That's like chest high. But those limbs are snapped off, so that could be. That's pretty fresh. It's not a great big rub, which really don't mean anything, but there are some limbs pretty high, chest high. So it tells me it could be a mature deer. I made a big loop around these scrapes. I'm trying to find some more scrapes, some more active scrapes, but I'm really not finding a whole lot. Just a couple of rubs and that fresh scrape I seen. There's got to be more in here somewhere, but I'm gonna keep looking. If I don't find any soon, I'll probably throw this camera on that scrape and just, even if they're not hitting it in the daytime, at least maybe I can get an inventory of what's coming through here. Right now, I have no idea what's in here, so anyway, let's keep looking. Where I thought all the sign would be on this roadbed, those scrapes hadn't been hit. It looks like since we scouted this place a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I walked all the way down the property that way. I made a big loop, and like I said, it was well over a mile, and I found a rub line coming out of a cutover. It looked decent. I didn't find any great spots in there where I could set up, but I'm sure I can make something happen. There's some fingers coming off that creek, and I followed some of those down and crossed some of them. They're pretty hard to cross, but I did end up finding about 400 yards from where I set up this morning, where we're at now. I did find a good fresh scrape that looked like it got hit this morning, and several rubs that had been hit. You could tell they've been hit several times over the past few years, and they were freshened up within the past week or so. Still tacky and everything. So I put up a camera on that fresh scrape, eased my way back, crossed some more creek fingers, and come through some thick stuff, and I found a little bit of sign where they had traveled through, which is good because it's just rained within the past couple of days, so they're in here. It's just trying to figure out what travel routes they're using right now. Alright, it's Monday afternoon. We're at deer camp this afternoon. I hunted at a different property this morning, done a lot of walking and scouting. Moved a trail camera to some fresh sign. I decided to come over here to deer camp today. I'm just trying to get a doe for the freezer. In the past, this has been harder than it should be. I usually pass does, trying to hunt a buck. I don't want to go in and ruin an area, but I have waited too late in the season several times trying to get some meat in the freezer. So I decided to come over here and try to get a doe early. And of course, course, I'm gonna try to keep the wife in the woods, and maybe she can get a doe or two this year as well. That's the goal. But I decided, it's kind of warm this afternoon. It was nice and cool this morning, but with the weather this afternoon, the way it was, kind of warm, I was like, let's try to go get a doe. And I'm planning on going tomorrow and hunt some scrapes. We got thunderstorms moving in, so them scrapes hopefully get washed out. And I'm banking on some of these bugs going and freshening up these scrapes, but we'll see. I think it was 3 of them. I just seen them on the edge there and they took off running. I don't know what they were running from. I know they didn't see me this long ways down there.
Hi guys, it's Tuesday, November 25th. I didn't make it to the woods this morning. I got up and was gonna go, but it was still raining pretty good. The spot we hunted yesterday, where I went and did some scouting and moved the camera, I got up this morning and checked my camera, and I had a good shooter buck in there at, I think, around 3 o'clock this morning, right after that, right in between those heavy rain showers, coming in to clean up that scrape. And he's a good buck. That camera's been sitting at that property for a month, and I hadn't had hardly anything on camera. But I went and scouted. I think I walked like right at 1.5 miles or 2 miles yesterday, the whole loop, in and out the woods and everything, and I found very few fresh scrapes, and I found one right by a thicket, by a drainage ditch that goes back off into the big creek. And I finally circled back around and put the camera on that because that was the best sign I found. And it was in there for like 7 hours, and he was a little bit more than that. I guess it's more like 12 hours. And then he was in there this morning around 3. So I'm excited about that. I thought about going over there and hunting just because it's tempting, because it's a good buck, but I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I would really love to get some more data on this deer and see if he's using that area during the daylight. I don't want to just go in there all willy-nilly and spook him out of there. If he's just coming through at night, I don't want to go in there and leave all my scent in there and mess it up. But I don't know, I'm gonna see what happens. Maybe I'll get some pictures of him this afternoon. I don't know, it'd make me feel better about it before I went in there and just hunted blindly. But I'm going to another spot I hunted during bow season. There was a bunch of fresh rubs and scrapes over here at this spot. I think that's where I'm gonna go get this afternoon. We'll see. We're just gonna play it by ear. We're gonna go over here and see who all's hunting and see where everybody else has been hunting. I don't want to go somewhere where somebody else has tracked all through there and everything else. But that one spot I'm hunting, I don't think anybody really goes in there, so it's a little ways off the beaten trail. So I don't know, we'll see.
We're set up. I hunted here about a month ago during bow season. This is one of the spots we came to earlier in the year and scouted. I seen a deer last time I hunted cross the backside of this property, following this creek back here. So I'm on the very backside of a small, like 15-acre hardwood bottom. There's still a lot of acres in here on the backside back here. Versus, I don't know, maybe 10-year-old pines. They're real thick. So that's what's on this side and that side. And then over here we have fresh, probably 4-year-old cut over, really thick cover. Right down through here there's a creek running down the very backside of this timber block. Hopefully those deer will follow this creek. My wind is not perfect for this spot. My wind is blowing straight towards that creek, but I should have plenty of time to shoot before they get directly downwind of me. I'm expecting them to come out of that corner over to my left, my front left. That would give me plenty of time to shoot, even if they went straight over here to go downwind. I did see a fresh rub on the way in here. I didn't walk over there and check where them scrapes normally are. I was a little bit late coming in, so I didn't want to go over there and make a bunch of noise or anything. I just slid back here. I'm sitting on the ground. I've got my camera set up on my bog tripod. I've got a good back cover. I got this old dead blowdown right behind me, so I should be good. We're hunting with a 35 today.
Morning, guys. Well, we got up early this morning. Got up early this morning. It is Wednesday morning, 4:40. We're gonna go out here to this property I moved this camera to the other day. Went and scouted, did a bunch of walking, scouting, looking for some fresh sign. Found a fresh scrape that had been worked, and it rained that night, and I threw my camera on that scrape and got a good buck. We've got 2 different bucks coming in there. One's a good shooter, so I'm gonna go back over here this morning. It's the first big temperature drop we've had in the past couple weeks. I think it's low 50s this morning, and this afternoon it's supposed to be in the 40s, high 40s or so. And yesterday it was in the 70s, so it's a big temperature drop.
I'm back in the woods this afternoon. Whenever I left the woods this morning, I scouted my way out. I didn't find any more scrapes or anything. I had to go down and help my grandpa cut some limbs and do some stuff around his house, and spend a little time with them. So I come over here. I come back to deer camp for a quick afternoon hunt. The wife is working today. This is gonna be my last day to hunt with Thanksgiving coming up. This will be my last day to hunt, at least for the next 2 days. So hopefully we can get it done tonight and get us a big doe on the ground. We'll see. But I'm hunting a pipeline this afternoon. We got it set up nice. It's nice. going from sitting on the ground. He's hanging in a tree all the time to getting comfortable and just relaxing for an afternoon. So it's a nice change of pace. Oh, but let's see what happens this afternoon. I'm set up. I got my tripod with my camera set up here, and then we got our grain plot out there. Little coyote regulation. I knew I heard something running in here behind me, and I thought it was a deer. About a minute ago, I cut my camera on and coyote run out about 50 yards. I clicked the safety off and went to pull the trigger, and I put the safety in the neutral position to where the bolt will come back. This is the first time I've used this gun my grandpa gave me, and when I did that, I went to squeeze the trigger and it didn't go off. So then I flipped the safety forward and the coyote turned around. Made a little bit of a bad shot the first shot, but I put him down and then got him with the second shot. Well, let's see if we can get a deer. We still got about 20 minutes left.
Got the game reserve. Man down. I'm digging. Big female.